Hi, hello, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Quisha, and on this channel I do makeup and mukbangs, y'all. Today is a mukbang day. There's some pizza here. I was feeling the pizza, I was craving the pizza. Also, the pizza was on sale, so we have the pizza. I have two different kinds here. This is just a supreme pizza. Y'all know supreme. It got the pepperonis, the sausage, the onions, the green peppers, tomatoes. You know, y'all know what's in the supreme. And then this one over here it's like ham, bacon, and the crust is cheese stuff, but there's bacon in the crust too. So I want to try this one first because I want the bacon cheese crust first. To drink here, I have a Zevia cream soda flavor. Yeah, y'all, I like Zevia, but listen, you have to drink certain flavors of Zevia. The cream soda is pretty good to me, and I think I like the ginger ale one too. These are no sugar, 0 calorie, 0 everything, y'all. I wanted a beer. I like to have beer with my pizza, but I'm taking a little bit of an alcohol break. Let's bite this. Let's just get a general flavor. It's very good. Alright, now I want to taste the crust. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's pieces of bacon and cheese in there. Yes. I like this. Now I have 6 slices up here. Will I eat 6 slices? Probably not. The most slices of pizza I eat is like 3 or 4. We'll see. And I was in the mood for both of these flavors. That is good. So y'all, we're here to talk about the book. Back to the drama. Let's get right into it. I always take this table. Alright, so we're starting off with chapter 56 now. We are at Erica and Oliver's house. The last time we talked about the two of them, Erica was at the therapist's office, and the therapist was telling her to re-jog her memory because she felt like she was missing important information, like she can't remember certain parts of the night of the barbecue. The therapist told her, maybe if you go back to the scene of the crime, it'll jog your memory. So she's just getting home. She's running to the door. She said she was going to go to Vid and Tiffany's house and look around in their backyard. So she's like walking out the door. She's like, my therapist thinks I should go back, you know, over next door to see what happened. He was like, what? She was like, yeah, I want to go back to the scene of the crime. He was like, there was no crime. First of all, calm down. I just saw them leave. She's like, I know, so I figured now would be the perfect time to go over there. I do not think that's a good idea. Going to people's house, looking around, being nosy. That's how people get killed. Okay? He freaked out. He was like, you can't go over there. It's trespassing. She was like, they won't care. And Oliver's sick. They keep mentioning that. He's sucking on a lozenge. And he was like, plus it's like pouring down rain. Supreme. And this is like pan. Look how thick that is. He's like, you can't go over there anyway. It's raining. Like, it's a stupid idea. She is not listening. She's headed towards the door. Yeah, this pizza is so thick. It's really good though. He was like, you were drunk anyway. It's normal for drunk people to forget stuff. She was like, I only got drunk because of the medication. She took like an anxiety pill. Probably a Xanax. Do y'all like olives on your pizza? I know a lot of people don't like olives. I do. I like them on pizza. I like olives. And he was like trying to distract her, like, just stay here and talk to me. How was it at your mom? How was that place a mess? How messy was it? She's out the door. So anyway, she goes across the street. She rings the doorbell, knowing they're not home, but she just said, you know, like, just in case. Of course, nobody answers. So she's walking around to the side. The security lights come on. You know, probably like some motion sensor stuff. She keeps walking. And she was like, I can slowly remember stuff. It's starting to work. Like, she can remember in pieces. She was like seeing that night. She saw the twinkly lights that the kids were dancing in right before the drama. She smelled the food. She smelled the caramelized onions. This is just bread. I like the meat. So she's seeing and hearing all these things. You know, she's smelling, she's hearing the music. And then she was like, something like jarred her a little bit. She was like, what was that? Was it Harry? Harry was a neighbor that he fell at the bottom of the stairs. She was like, was that Harry? She's like, why do I keep hearing Harry? This is really good. Y'all, this is DiGiorno, by the way. I usually don't like their pizza because the crust is usually so thick, but these are like new pizzas. They're changing something. She's like, whatever this noise I'm hearing, it's like related to Harry. She was like, but what is it? What is it? She's like, now I remember holding the plates. I love those plates. Tiffany said she loved those plates too. Like, so first of all, I want to see these plates. She was like, what was it? Something related to Harry. Well, then let me walk around further. She's walking around further back. And she was like, you know, the water, the rain is making her think of the fountain. And she was like, the fountain, where's the fountain? She's looking around, she doesn't see the fountain. It's like slabbed over with concrete. So they removed the fountain and covered it up where the spot was with concrete. And she was like, why would they do that? So she went home feeling wet and stupid. So that was the end of that chapter. She's gonna find out how that man died. He didn't fall. And why would they remove the fountain? I have an idea. Because what I talked about the last time I talked about the book, Vid was saying something like he doesn't want to walk outside in his backyard every time he remember that that little girl almost died in his backyard. So that could be why they removed it. That's my guess. So chapter 57. Y'all, this is with Sam and Clementine. Anytime I see, or now lately, every chapter that involves them is so awkward. And this one is just as awkward. So last time I said right towards the end, he suggested that they separate. He's like just not happy. He's struggling. He's sad a lot. He's mad all the time. And she's still trying to make it work, but he about to hit the dough. He's not here for it. This crust is really good. I usually don't eat my crust. But this got bacon in it, okay? And cheese. You have to eat it. I'm sorry if this is triggering, but I like to peel it off first and eat it. It's good. Anyway. So they're at their house. He just suggested that they separated. He like stormed out the room. She's following behind him. He's like changing his clothes because it's soaking rain. And he just got home from work. So she was like, are you serious? Did you really mean that? Why would you say something like that? He's trying not to look at her. He's making like jerky movements while he's putting on his clothes, just like trying not to make eye contact. Bruh is struggling. This is so good. I wish the cheese was like pulley though, like I had a cheese pull. It would have been good. So she was like, so did you mean it? He like shrugged. He was like, I don't know, probably not. He was just like, you know what? I can be here or I cannot be here. Shrugging his shoulders. He's trying to get out of there. And she was like, we promised never to say that word. And then so she's now thinking in her head, she's like, they both agreed to never use the word, you know, separate or divorce or anything like that, because that's like super final. Those are final words. She's like, they were always able to just argue, say whatever they wanted to each other, yell, I hate you, you always do this, you always do that. But they never use that word because it just made them feel safe. Like, we can say all this stuff and we know that we'll never leave each other, you know, as long as we say these words. Child, please. Anyway. She's all freaked out. She's like holding her breath. She says she forgot how to breathe. She's gasping. Gasping for air, you know, because she's holding her breath. Like she's doing like long spurts of holding her breath. She always has... She always has so much difficulty when it comes to communicating with him. She can barely... Every time he gets in the mood or they're having an argument, she gets very uncomfortable and she behaves oddly. But she never really... It's like she's holding something back. She's holding back from saying something. So he was like, you know, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I just don't like the idea of Dakota coming to Holly's party. So the reason this whole argument started in the first place was because Clementine had told him that they invited Dakota, Vid and Tiffany's daughters, the neighbors who backyard just got trespassed. She said they invited her daughter to their daughter's birthday party, and he was like, no, you didn't. She's not coming. And then that blew up and they just started arguing. And so he just said, you know, I don't want our daughter associated with those people. And she was like, what do you mean they're nice people? He was like, they're just not our type of people. And then she's like, they're not bad people. So she also said that she doesn't want to see them right now. And Vid's been calling her. Because they want her to talk to Dakota because Dakota feels guilty that their daughter almost died. Because she was supposed to be watching them. Kind of. But Clementine says the reason she's been, you know, not answering their calls was because she doesn't want to see them because they remind her of the worst day of her life. You know, they thought that little girl was dead. Which is understandable. But she at least needs to answer the phone and tell them that so he can explain to her why he keeps calling her. Because she doesn't know why. So, answer the phone, send a text. I don't know. And so she was like, not our kind of people. Why? Because she was a dancer. And he was like, she was a stripper. Listen, bruh. The way he said she was a stripper. She like had this. He had such a look of disgust on his face that she felt sorry for Tiffany. She's like wanting to defend her. He was like, it's not. She was like, it's not that bad now. Hold on. She was a stripper, okay? She wasn't out here killing people, you know? And she was like, just because she's a stripper, she's not our type of people. Ruby could have drowned just as easily if we were talking to our type of people discussing politics or philosophy and we got distracted by the conversation. She could have drowned in that situation as well. It doesn't matter what type of people they are. He was just basically like, well, I've been to those places, you know, like I've been to those places, meaning strip clubs. He was like, have you? And she was like, no. He was like, it's disgusting, it's seedy, and it's not glamorous. And Brett is going off. Y'all, I'm full. I'm gonna finish up this chapter and I gotta go. I can't force myself. Look, I have lunch tomorrow. This Zevia hitting though. I should have got 2 of these. And so she was also thinking about just like, you know, about that day. Thinking about how nice they were and how warm and inviting they were and just unapologetically themselves. You know, Vid was like, yeah, my baby's a stripper, yes. Give her a dance, baby. So they are loving life. They were just nice people and they were like overly nice, and she was just like, I remember a few chapters back when they were at the barbecue before everything had happened, and the four of them, while the other two weirdos was off doing something, the four of them were joking, having light banter. Everybody was kind of flirting with each other. It was all crisscross. Y'all remember I thought it was sexual, but it was not. I mean, it was kind of sexual, but I thought the whole drama was going to be like sex crazed stuff, but it really wasn't like that. Anyway, I digress. So she was just like reminiscing. She was like, before all that happened, like we were about to make these like our new best friends. So they are not bad people. True tea. He was like, those places are nasty. They're seedy. You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't have a grip on reality. So then she was just like, okay, so that's what it is. I don't have a grip on reality, and I guess you do. And then she got into the whole thing about how he just thinks she's just so aloof, which she kind of is, but it's almost like he doesn't respect her. That's what I'm picking up, okay? You know, they're just so different. He likes to get to the airport nice and early. She likes to be the last on board. He likes to have like an itinerary, a plan. She just likes to wing it. He's just a little bit more prepared, and I guess you could say responsible, more attentive, and she's a little bit more aloof and relaxed. And she just said, you know, that used to be a joke, that used to be cute, and now it's like tearing us apart. They can't even like, it's pretty much, she said it's pretty much the same argument they always have. It's just now it's about this, but it still has a lot to do with exactly how different they really are. I mean, that's sad. And she was like, okay, it's so nasty, but you be in there, you like to go. And he was like, yeah, but it's just, oh, drunk dudes. We get drunk, and then one of them will suggest going to a strip club, and then we get in there and we see the hardened faces on the dancers, and it's just nasty and it's seedy, and it turns out that it's not as fun, and then you're broke by the time you leave. And so he ain't trying to have it. He don't want to have anything to do with them, which I feel is very judgmental. And Tiffany doesn't seem like she came off like that at all, like a seedy person or anything like that. I do think she up to something, but I don't think she's a bad person. And she was like, yeah, you seem real disgusted by Tiffany. You were all over her that night. You were encouraging her. You were laughing with her. You were trying to get her to dance on me. So don't act like you are disgusted by her. And he was like, yeah, you know, I do regret that about that night. She was just thinking like in her head, like, see, while he's over here trash talking her, I wish I could have a camera record him all day so that when he says something didn't happen, I can just catch him and be like, yes, it did. You know what? I wish I had that too. He was like, yeah, you know, I probably shouldn't have done that, or I regret doing that. Then he's like, you know, she was probably a hooker too, you know. See, this is people judging people that on things they know nothing about, just throwing that out there. Oh, she was probably a hooker. And then so Clementine was like, she was not a hooker. He was like, how do you know? She was like, she told me. He was like, when? And she was like, on the drive to the hospital, because Sam got to go in the helicopter with Ruby when she was being taken to the children's hospital. He got to go in the helicopter, and Clementine stayed back because only one parent could go. So he went instead of Clementine. And he was like, after she said, oh, he was like, oh, how do you know she wasn't a hooker? How do you know she wasn't a hooker? And she said, you know, she told me on the way to the hospital. He turned his head and was like, so that's what you were talking about while our daughter was... She was like, now hold up. He is being extra dramatic right now. She was like, now hold on. She was like, don't you dare. Because she knew what he was doing. He was belittling her feelings. Basically like questioning her love for their daughter. Saying like she wasn't taking it serious enough, you know. So she got upset because of what he was doing. So she was, you know, like sometimes when you are so mad, you just try to just get your words out and get it across. She was trying so hard to contain the anger in her voice. You have no idea. You have no idea what that car ride was like to the hospital. You don't know. So now she's being dramatic, and he was like, ugh. He put up his hand like, stop right there. He is so rude to her. He was like, I have no interest in hearing what you have to say. I have no interest in listening to this. So she just, you know, raised and dropped her hands in frustration, and she was just so She was just in her head thinking our relationship has become so twisted. I don't even know how it's a possibility that we can ever even get back to the way things were before. I have to sneeze. She was like, I know that place is there. It's somewhere, and it's gonna take, I don't even know if we can get back there. Yeah, and that's the end of that chapter. I'm not gonna do no more because I'm done eating and I'm full. I will say this though, the next chapter, because I did go ahead and read ahead a little bit, we get to find out exactly what they talked about in the car on the way to the hospital. So that should be interesting. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging out with me and eating some regular grocery store pizza. Let me tell y'all something. I cut myself and I don't know how. I was just sitting here. I needed a little bit of something easy to do tonight, you know, for meal ideas, because that girl's trip took it out of me. I'm not at the age where I can just party and wake up and drink and live my life the next day. I'm out for about 2 days, and this is day 2 because we got home yesterday. So happy Wednesday. I will see y'all on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you had a good time, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, talk to me, subscribe to my channel, share it with everybody you know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.